Hi family, hope you all are doing well. Before we get into today's devotional, I wanted to give a quick announcement that we will be having a online community time this Saturday. And so for this week's devotional, I wanted to talk about John 15. And for many of us, this is a verse that we know and have heard before, but I think during this time recently, it's kind of created a deeper and more meaningful connection to me. So recently, at the start of quarantine, Korean and I decided to start a garden, and so she actually had tomato plant. It's actually been a really cool process because not only do we get to see it grow, but we also have been able to learn how to care for a garden because we haven't really done that before. And so we actually had one of our family friends come to our backyard and show us how to kind of create a good environment for these tomato plants. And so I just wanted to go ahead and show like a quick little snippet of what it's been like caring for our little garden we have. As you can see, this is the garden that Korean and I started at the beginning of quarantine. And if you can't tell, this guy, he is quite overgrown. Another thing Uncle Norm taught us to do is to not get water straight from the hose because a lot of times it has a lot of chemicals that plants don't like. So you could put water in a watering can and then let it sit in the sun for a couple days and it is good to go. Is a lot more pruned and groomed. Not only did I learn a lot about plants, I feel like I learned also a lot of spiritual connections and implications that gardening has. The first one was pruning. When we first started off, it was just a big bush, like no growth. It was just going everywhere. He actually helped us cut off a lot of parts of the leaves and things that weren't really necessary for the plant, to cut a lot of it so that the nutrients go straight to the upper part of the plant. So I think the thing that really stuck out to me most significantly during when he was teaching us, I think, was the way that plants bear fruit. And he was saying how plants, when they get all the nutrients they want and they're basically satisfied, they won't bear fruit. And they'll only bear fruit if the plant thinks it's about to die. and that's when it'll start bearing fruit. So kind of the key thing is to allow the plant to grow, allow the plant to flourish, and when it's at that right stage, to kind of hold back a bit. So this was kind of brought upon my heart because of just what's been happening, going on around the world, just the craziness that there is, and also just feeling that maybe there's some people here who are kind of in this process as well. I think for me personally, during this time, I've really related to this tomato plant. As some of you may know, we had our grandpa who recently passed away during this time, and I think with that there were a lot of disappointments I had and just things of being able to let go and have peace. And so I feel like that was a huge pruning process for me. Now I can look back and see also a lot of blessings that there has been. There was a lot of conversations I was able to have with some of my cousins that were really meaningful and just really impactful to me, and I think it brought our relationship to a deeper place, and a lot of like spiritual conversations and just being able to relate on deeper levels than we have been before. Really thinking about how plants bear fruit and things like that really made me think about how kind of God challenges us with those areas in our life. There's some of us here who might feel like they're on that edge with God. Like, I feel pushed to the nth degree. I feel almost where I want to give up. But it's only really in that space where our complacency is challenged where that fruit can happen. And I think with thinking about fruit or just, the tomatoes, it's like it's not going to be an instant thing. Like, you're not going to see it as soon as you do everything that you need to do. It's going to happen right away. It's a very gradual process that takes time. And so I think that's what has been sticking out to me, is just being able to just take time. And so I feel like if that is resonating with you, I feel like God gave me this picture for you. And so the picture is just of this kind of barren garden, and maybe that's the place we are in right now. But in it, I just see God speak, and he says, dead dreams come alive. And with that, there's like vines and flowers and just things that spring forth. Maybe you're asking the question, like, why are you doing this, God? I don't understand. Like, maybe there's some confusion there. And knowing that there is that challenge to let go, but might not quite be ready yet. And I think that's okay. Like, I feel like God is saying that's totally okay, and he is patient. Like, he is willing to wait. I feel like God just wants to give you grace over that. In this space, I feel like God just really wants you to take time to abide in him. You don't need to do anything but just to be with him. And I think through that, he is really going to speak whatever it is you've been wanting to hear, whatever it is you've been needing to hear, maybe areas where he has felt quiet. And so I pray and hope that you can take time this week to do that, and that you can receive all the good things that God has for you. With that, I just want to bless you, Revive family, and hope that you have a great rest of your week, and looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. Bye!